Don't need to know where to fly.
Yeah. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Leslie.
So. Be creative.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Almost like a central person.
Has been vacation. So.
You forward it to me real quick. Actually, this being did it before, and it's all three of us. Yeah. Can you have a sit in the next meeting?
It's not anything different than anything in slave use. It's not anything crazy.
There we go.
It's the regular description of the job description that was in place for the other decades. All their own
Says me. Okay, mommy. I'm past due for this one. Comes up. You get. Okay. I just forwarded it. Oh, so I mean, that type of description is what we had before, right? Is that?
I mean, I don't know what it was before because that position has been in existence since. I can't imagine when there wasn't a. The county paid
Is this properly conform to what we need for a job description?
Like basically, it's just a thing. Because you.
So.
Okay.
I really would have liked to have it on paper in front.
Right, yeah, it's.
Not to be screaming loud, is it? I mean.
No.
Is the microphone?
We can't hear anything. We didn't even know you started.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Well, that one's on. Is it live or is it summarized? Oh, gang's all here.
It's up to you two. I'd rather wait.
I mean, we've seen it.
This is not a new job. This is a job that's been in existence for years. And I mean, if you want to see it on the paper, that's fine. It's going to be that job description. It does not mean it's different than anything that was in existence, but for 2 years.
I'll make the motion to approve the position pending receipt of the physical job description.
I don't know, I'd rather see it in front of us. I mean, if it's the same, it's
That's
the
how we
same, but
make everybody else in the county.
yeah.
I said, bring it to our next meeting. Rick? That envelope got all the in there.
Yeah.
And if you want to look. We are going to do that annex in 3 months. The architect.
I'll give you a printout on all of them that falls.
Mhm.
Yep.
Down to from the lowest to the highest. And they're all should be in order on which company lowest to the highest.
Donnie, you guys start the YouTube focus. People are saying it's not.
They're saying it's not on there.
Sorry.
Yeah, we can't even hear them. I mean, we can't hear
Still can't?
anything back there. We have no idea what's.
I don't.
Oh.
Okay. That one's on, but this one isn't.
Well, somebody's already been up there and gone. And I have no idea what they voted, but they,
Okay,
They tabled it for next week.
thank you. But what did we table?
a job description for the prosecutor.
Thank you.
Because it wasn't physically in front of us.
Okay, thank you.
It's on the
I just
agenda.
Had asked for it last meeting.
Okay,
Sorry about that.
It working out, that's all right.
all right,
Good.
I think so. We just have to speak a little louder.
Right.
Yes, then you keep.
We need to get better set up or something.
We've been saying that for
Needs to be
2,
done.
3 years now,
Yeah.
and I haven't seen anything that's an upgrade that was worth it.
It's on my list,
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes,
he's,
please.
he's got a list.
Put it to the top of the list.
I recommend SRKM for the architectural annex too.
And that's for $7,100.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, there's quite a spread.
We should, yeah, big spread.
And I only ask this not because when I see this much of a spread, making sure there's no mistake between what was asked and what was offered.
Because
Ranging from 7,100 to 26 grand. That's
Right?
yeah, CTG was 4,750. Lancer was 12,000.
Robert, next was 22,775. And this last one was 26,250.
Maybe you could approve a spending review just to make sure of all the respect, like, I hate to award a bid just to have me back out. So I mean, I'd like to, just because I just have them in front of me, now, I'd like to look at them.
Okay. I'll make the motion to approve the proposal from SRKM for $7,100 pending counselor review.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
I
Carried. Thanks, Rick. Jared?
Yeah,
Oh, there.
you too, Jim.
There.
Both of you.
All right. They just kind of dragged the-
All right, Jim, tell us why you wanted me to look into this.
This lady's a miracle worker.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you, she is a counselor. Probably one of the best I've ever seen in 40 years. We had a couple of traumatic incidents happen where she was involved. She was there for approximately 2 hours on the last one. And she took some of these people who will not talk to anybody and put them back to work the next day. I would like to recommend her to do that for the entire county. Offer her counseling services under contract for the entire, like, EAP program.
Well, we're not gonna go that far just yet. We're gonna start out just with their dealing with the EMS department. I understand here that this, first responders and working with them through work-related trauma is your specialty, and then I know how good you are at it.
Thank you.
So yeah, I think we can safely come to approve this proposed contract, and then hopefully sometime within the next year or so, we can perhaps expand this to the rest of our first responders in the
I
county.
don't say, I'd like to see her talk to the sheriff, even see what I don't even really want to wait a year.
Yeah, I'm open. I do that in several departments now. Some under contract and some just as something happens, they call me up because they have an approved contract. So we're always willing to help out.
Because we didn't
I
have,
mean, he might have somebody, but I'm just offering, asking if you would.
Yeah.
we didn't have a contract with her in place when we found,
Mhm.
when Jim found her. So I think that's certainly, we have the flexibility to expand that if needed, but this is, I think for EMS, this is definitely worth it. And,
Yeah, the cost of turnover for mental health reasons in first responders specifically, far outweighs what you pay in a year. Turnover of one position and retraining and certification and all of that stuff, usually pays for for a year of contract. It's pretty amazing because the cost of training is upwards of 60,000 for one first responder. And then they leave because of mental health reasons, and up in the next coming years, because of COVID and all of those things, our teenagers growing up into adults are even less resilient right now, and this is gonna be even more needed as we get new hires coming into the next 5 years. Because of what they've experienced, we're gonna expect that it's gonna be harder to find workers and keep them because of mental health reasons.
You guys this in your budget yet?
Yeah, we looked into it, but
Okay.
So this would just cover the EMS department, right?
right,
Yeah, for now.
And we could, if we need to get expanded, there are options for that. You have any other questions, Charlie? Well, Charlie's still reading it now.
Okay.
I was reading it again, but. So this is an employee assistance pretty much, or something similar to that?
Yes, it's something similar to that. Like basically what it does is if there's a critical incident, they can call me out. I could meet with the whole team that was on that scene. We work through it, trying to resolve any issues that are happening in the moment. Then if there's work related, like say one of the people is not okay, they can see me for a few sessions after that. And then if it's something that's long-term ongoing, we discuss if it's purely work related, then it'll, whether or not we're gonna keep it under the contract or I'm gonna use their insurance. Or if it's personal, then we absolutely go right to insurance and see it as a personal issue for insurance reasons.
So you say you go out on the scene or not?
Mhm.
So when you're out there, what if a fireman needs you?
Yep, I would do it because I would never say no to someone.
Okay, well, I'm just asking,
Never.
I don't want to see you take care of the EMS or the sheriff.
Yeah, I would
Leave
take,
the
I
fire.
would do anything if it's necessary. I have rolled up on scenes and just gotten out of my car and gone in and then just did it
Right.
because it's the right thing to do. No.
Coroner's office could probably benefit from some of that as well. Cheaper than-
So what's the cost then, or what are we looking at?
25,000.
Yeah, and that's an up to.
Up to, it's
Yeah.
per hour, so I bill, every month, I'll bill for every hour that, is utilized.
And then, we estimated it, if it was full benefits, everything in there, everyone took 6 sessions, everyone took that, it would be upwards of. That would be probably the cap of just for the EMS department would be,
What will it cost us? Just to start you.
it's just whatever you use. It's per hour, so,
Yeah.
there is no upfront contract cost or anything like that, it's just. Everything I use is per hour.
So then if you only get called out once or twice a year,
Yep.
what,
And
it should
it's
be by
just-
the hour?
Yep,
Okay.
and it's still by the hour,
Yeah.
yep.
And that's on the second page, details for that. If for some reason we have something extra catastrophic, and the billing, you know, it approaches that, $3,000 a month, we'll have the ability to review it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I had to go over this twice.
Right. Yeah, that way, if anything, you know, if there's major issues and like a bunch of people are seeing me and we know it's gonna be a high bill that month, then I would alert and. Give you guys that option to discuss that and to make that discussion so that it fits in the budget and all of those things for them too.
Sounds, Jim, like you really want this for your employees and the.
Yes, there has been multiple occasions where I could have used somebody like Sherry prior to this. And just seeing what she does and how she did it. I was there on one of the sessions, one of the bigger ones, and we were together on the biggest one. I truly believe in what she does, like I said, she's the best I've ever seen in 40 years. You know, especially.
Because I had you crying and.
So it was, well, but
You had to feel your feelings as soon as you met, that's funny.
but yeah, I mean,
Any other questions?
No, I don't have anything.
I'd like a motion to approve the counseling services agreement with Life and Trauma Survivor Center.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
There you go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Careful, you lock the bin. Just so you guys know, we're partnering with California for the services that she's gonna be providing. So we're still in a negotiation with them to find somebody, but that may be may use them, that's good, I guess is the way to put it. Just so you know, we do have something in the works. Okay. For the one we just talked about? Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's why I say just check with you. Yes, and, you know, we need, I know we. Right.
Here, in your negotiations. This is the prices we're already dealing with, so. Use that to your advantage.
Get a copy of that.
I just handed it to.
As long as we can take it.
Can I keep
Yes, absolutely.
There is, I'm taking pictures.
No,
Just redone like we had.
Nobody sent me it. Yeah, so Justin was reviewing that,
Okay.
so that's what it is done, right, Justin?
yeah, this is
Yeah.
what you.
No, I actually had to type all the word for it, so yeah.
Okay.
See, that's why I asked, cause I didn't.
Oh, that's not.
So you're not raising the price.
Yeah, that's.
It's better.
Okay.
It's a benefit to everybody.
No, we're not raising the price.
But you know, we are, maybe next year or the next year, we should think about that because what's it say, we're gonna go $100.
Alter was.
Over $100.
Yeah.
Some of the other places.
But then I think they got it back down at one of their meetings as well, at 60 or something,
Yeah,
but still.
it's a lot more than-
They have still, yeah.
It's a lot more than we'd be- But we don't need to change that right now. and,
No.
you know, maybe not even next year, but that's something to think about. Okay.
Section 4B on page 3 is changed. I changed that section. If you're wanting specifically, it was changed. And then on page 4, section H, reciprocity, they asked that we have reciprocity in not just Marshall County, but any other units that granted a golf cart permit in Stark County. So Hamlet, Knox, or Judson, that's the only other thing I changed.
Okay. And that's mostly just because we share a lake with Marshall.
Right.
Take a motion to change the ordinance for the golf cart.
Like the motion, I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye. Go. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Is there a copy anywhere?
Yeah.
I can have?
Okay, we got it.
Thank you.
Since I hear the one.
Yeah, so you stick with it.
Right.
Stand up, Dave.
Now, you had put something about.
I didn't know
extending
there changed.
something
Oh.
About the application, wasn't it, or was it this that you were?
The waiver, the waiver you're gonna have them sign.
Yes, I did. I sent that twice. Nobody's responding.
Was that the same thing as what you, I had you send me?
Yes.
Okay, that's the waiver, apparently.
Yeah, yeah. I just wanted a copy.
So I sent it to you.
Well, I was sending PDF, just like that. I gotta retype every word. Anything
Oh, I
anybody
sent
sends
a
me in
PDF.
PDF. so-
Oh,
I
okay.
got it.
I mean, I just wanted a copy. If that's all I wanted, the waiver. there. That's
Okay.
what I have, so
So is the waiver good, the way we have it?
The waiver is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
If you need it editable, if you need another format, we can do that.
okay.
I sent
Right,
it,
Elton.
send it to him in a Word doc. Okay.
Tracy. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm here kind of asking for money, but not really. I would like to build a real website for the campground where we can have, pictures, events, our reservations, everything on it. All we have right now is on the county website, has our minutes and stuff. I want a website
The
where
park board had a website.
we have Facebook, that's it.
No, we had an actual website.
Yeah, we did.
Have you talked to Stanley about it?
I don't know the state.
Well,
I don't know about it. I
it's-
barely knew about it.
It's on the government website, and that's not a real. A camper's not gonna come from Michigan or Iowa or Ohio and look under the Stark County government for our campground. And there's no pictures, there's no events, there's really,
Right.
I want a real website. All I'm asking for is, Rachel said to come and ask, in order to do this, I have to have a credit card.
Right.
So it's a one-time fee and then a monthly like $20 fee.
Yeah.
And I'm just-
This is
First one.
The first one's like
What do you have
$500. Yeah, and it's under,
StarkCountyParks.com.
right, but look, there's like nothing there. There's no reservation list, there's no
Okay,
pictures, there's no,
Stanley could add that though. right?
well, there's
So-
nothing, we don't have access to it.
well,
We
this
can't-
was, yeah, this was done by,
We can't add
um,
things to
the
it.
park board had contracted with somebody to do this.
And
website.
that's gone.
Okay.
Richard got rid of that with, oh, I don't
Building-
know what his name was.
Building either a new website or adding to that website.
I don't want to add to that one because
We already own the domain though,
Right. has-
So why don't we use the same?
It has-
Why would we change?
if you can do a whole reservation system,
would we change it?
I say let's table it. You talk to Stanley,
Yeah.
see what we can do there.
because everybody, like you go into a website and, you want to go to a campground,
Mhm,
you put in campgrounds, Knox, Indiana, or blah, blah, blah.
right, and
You
that,
know,
that
that-
should be a feature of the website, but it shouldn't be the focus of the website.
But I
'Cause
just
the-
want one for the campground and beach. It would come out of our budget.
I know,
Why don't you talk to Stanley? We'll have a meeting in 2 weeks, come back. We'll have a definite answer. Talk to Stanley, see if he can get you figured out what you want.
I mean, these companies, like, they're really professional, and to have a
And
7
that's
month
fine. I mean,
A 7
all I'm
month
saying.
for like reservations, 7 months to
Right.
take care of all of that. You put your credit card, like our pay.gov credit card system, you
Mhm.
put all of that in there and stuff. And I don't know if that needs to go into that.
That's what I'm saying, talk to Stanley.
And
We
it's
got
something
meetings
that
next
we
week.
would need, I as a superintendent would have to have access to it all the time, so
And
we
he
can,
might be able to with ours,
You
if
know.
not, then we can work something.
yeah, get. Figure out the details on how we're gonna host it and what's gonna be on, and
so I have to have a
Howard-
domain name and.
you have a domain name,
Yeah.
I
Check
think
with
just come
Stanley.
up with a little better plan with Stan and, I mean.
yeah.
our
Another
next
thing for the
meeting.
list, anyway.
Yeah. And I mean,
Well,
if
that's
that's
the
something,
thing, cause we're gonna start, I've
Right.
already taken several reservations and I need it,
Right.
soon. I mean, I've been working on it, but
Right.
then I ran into this problem with the money thing because those companies don't invoice you,
Right.
you know. They want their upfront fee right now and. So,
That's what I'm asking, talk to our IT guys and we'll go from there. And if he can't get it to where it worked like you want it to.
Yeah, I have no problems, you know,
I'm more
looking
concerned.
into working with whoever, because the county did not build the Parks Board website. It was contracted out.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, no, it's.
it was.
Pretty confident.
And we.
So,
I
have no problem.
I have the paperwork on that
Yeah.
it was
I have no problem
gone.
perhaps doing that again, given the internal resources we have for building a website or lack thereof. But
I'm not a web developer.
yeah, I understand. Neither am I.
They look very complicated, especially the reservation
Yeah,
part.
with what you can do now, it's, you practically need a team.
Right.
But yeah, that's the plan we need in front of us is, you know, who we're gonna go with, how much it's gonna cost and how we're gonna execute it.
Good old Stanley, and I'm sure he'll fit you in pretty close, you know, so you've got an answer.
Right. All right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Fair board.
Good evening.
Amy.
I appreciate the opportunity in front of you guys. You know, moving forward, listening to all the meetings and everything with the community, in reference to carnival. The Fair Board has heard that and has been working pretty hard, finding a carnival. We approached, Baja Entertainment, in regards to that, and I'll let, Ms. Temple kind of give you a background, regarding them.
They have been in business for 172 years. Every year they buy a new piece of equipment and they do regular maintenance on their equipment. They used to do the Met Festival, from what they told me years ago when they had something at the Met Festival. And they want to come here long term. They'd like to come back to this area. So.
Looking at some other carnivals as well, some of them are requesting to have their own food vendors there. With this carnival, we can kind of approach them and ask them to only bring this, so it's not affecting our local vendors that we already have. In addition to that, basically what they're requesting is a $50,000 guarantee. With that, what we're approaching is not just this year, it would be a long term. We're looking at 5 years with that. Now with that 50,000 guarantee with that, it's all based off of ticket sales. So if we sold 30,000, we would only have to come up with the 20,000 with that. Ticket sales are roughly $25 a ticket.
They do
the wristbands in reference to that. You know, and we're just here asking that blessing for some help.
So you don't need the 50 grand, only if they don't cover it by ticket.
Right.
Correct.
So if they get 35, we need 15.
Right.
Correct.
And you need some kind of paper saying we'd do it 5 years.
Correct. And you know, with the blessing, with that, we would further go in through getting that contract to go through the 5 years. And it's just looking at, you know, so the 50,000, we wouldn't sell one ticket, nobody would show up to the carnival.
Right.
The way it sounds, that's not gonna happen.
So they'll show up and we'll see at the end.
Correct.
And then we do advertising, and then they also do some of their own advertising. So
What
so
about
we draw.
insurance? What about insurance? They take care of that, or you guys got to?
They have their own insurance for their carnival, and then we just have our liability insurance, which we already have, so. Yeah,
Well, if we approve it, you're gonna have to go to the council and get an approval from them.
And then we were gonna have representatives come as well to be able to answer further questions. They're obviously unavailable at this time. It's their off season, so they're all vacation right now.
Maybe ask them to come to the council meeting.
Yeah.
That'd be in 2 weeks.
Okay.
4:30, right?
Yeah.
4:30.
Okay.
If you
Well,
can get them, you know, if you can get them to
Yeah.
come in.
If we're gonna give them the go ahead, they might as well have contracts for us to look at. If we're gonna obligate ourselves to anything, so we look at it in our morning meeting and then
So you're wanting a contract
I'd
for
like
the 5 years.
to see,
Can you guys come up with that
is that enough
Yeah.
time?
and get it to us you don't have to show up to me, you don't wanna just get me or
Okay.
Mark or Charlie to copy it.
Because,
Or give it to Rachel, she can,
because with anything, you know, I wanna make sure it goes through.
or Lord.
Right, yeah.
I'll stop.
Yeah.
Stop. I just, can I ask real quick?
Yeah.
I just don't want to set the wrong expectation and have you guys go down the path of, thinking it's gonna happen and then have the council, have other questions with it because I went to the meeting and obviously I heard about this. It's exciting, but I mean, I thought in the meeting that the fair board talked about kind of like the first year would be like have them a chance to check it out too, like for us to commit to a 5-year carnival and never even seen their carnival, their equipment, how they operate, whatever else. One of the things I've noticed in the meeting is the fair board has plenty of money. And then they haven't even asked Larry Wicker, maybe he'll bail them out on that one, possibly maybe the solar might get involved, they might not need us. All I was thinking was maybe the cart's before the horse right now, I would do the carnival first, engage in it, and then ask the government, the county government, because I have a feeling they'll be able to raise the money, they were talking about, how many wristbands it takes to get there and stuff. 2,000, that doesn't seem unreasonable. To get there on their own, so I don't know, like for us.
So you're telling them to do it themselves, and we'll worry about it.
Well, and then ask us afterwards, like they might only need 5,000 or something like that, but they might say that they don't like the carnival too. I hate to see us commit to a 5
And that's why before it gets as far as the council, I'd like to see how the contract could be worded. Because this could be potentially with the contingency payments like this, it can get a little sticky. So I want to make sure the wording is
I mean, you gotta figure
something
something
that makes sense.
I mean. 5 years, $250,000. I mean, that's a big ask, really.
It's not up front.
Well, no, but I mean.
Yeah.
It could be, I mean, in the end, it could be us paying it.
Yeah,
so.
and that's the fun part of this. It could be that, it could be zero,
Mhm.
and we won't know
So
until
get us a
afterwards.
contract for
It's
this
just-
year,
Okay.
and then give us.
I mean, are you guys looking at more beneficial for the county in reference of not necessarily going 5 years, seeing the first year, or are you just talking?
Well, that's,
No, they're being sarcastic and telling you to use who.
well, no, but there is a concern. I mean, we would much rather prefer it be, self-sustaining, self-sufficient, not have to support it with
Well, that's our
taxpayer
hopes,
dollars.
is that, with all the advertising and, people actually coming to the carnival. I mean, the first and the second year, I think will be great. It's the years after that, because, the carnival we had before, as the years, people just didn't come as much. And I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if it was because of the week that it was, and that's why we changed it, or that was before me, so I'm not 100% sure, but.
That's what I'm thinking, probably the first year is probably gonna be awesome, I mean.
Yeah, there's a lot, yeah, that's the first year or
But if
3
we
will
have
be.
1 year, then we're right back in the same spot
Yeah.
that we were.
But you guys may not
Yeah,
like it, is all I'm saying, I think you can do, what I'm trying to say is I think you can do it on your own the first year. You may wanna wait and see if you like them before you commit to a multi-year, cause didn't they say they would do this because they had a spot open?
It's a
and
leap
they-
year, so yeah, this
Right.
week is,
Because
the
you
last
said-
week in June, yeah.
Like the way you presented it at your meeting, I thought you were kind of like, this was a try it out year, not like jump in and commit to a multi-year to start with. I thought you guys said in your meeting.
Right,
exactly
but
that you
we
wanted to
came
try it.
here because they want to come here long term, so we just wanted to bring the idea to everybody. So everybody was aware of it, and then you guys can come and check them out, and they're highly reputable. Todd, you know them, correct? Yeah.
It's one of the ones I recommended.
Exactly, so.
I'm only one of 7. You've got 3 others here.
We not just explaining to you.
Or we can't talk, there's too many of us.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, 4.
Yeah.
I don't see Tony, I'm not seeing Tony.
Really?
Red hair.
Like it's skinny or what?
So.
Roberta had a
basically, Mark, you
question or
wanted
comment.
To just.
I want to see
what it
how,
looked like,
yeah.
Basically,
how
okay.
all the different ways we might get stuck with the something we don't really want to be stuck with, because that's,
So show us your plan for this year, and
Okay,
then we'll decide on the 5-year.
sounds good.
But if you're needing something this year, make sure you bring it up next meeting.
yeah, because
Or
how,
if you guys got.
because how
money
soon
to
do they
fund it
want a
this year.
commitment from you guys to be here in, is it June now? Is
Yeah.
it fair?
They're pretty much, they're coming this year. So, because they have the open spot, so, and they feel that seems how we haven't had a carnival in so long. That they won't have any problem making what they need to. Basically, them coming long-term, they're giving up another event that they're already doing.
Yeah, that's why they want the $50,000 guarantee.
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
makes-
so,
that makes
so
sense.
this year they don't have anything booked, that's why they're coming here. But like I said, they want to start coming here and give up another event that they have,
So
so
what's gonna happen this year if they come and you don't have it?
we don't have one.
The money.
If they don't make the money,
Yeah, that's
well,
what I'm
why-
asking.
That's why we gotta look at how the terms of this deal are gonna shake out
And
to.
that's how they're
To
gonna
see what
decide.
they're
if
trying
they
to
can
get us
them
to
or not.
obligate to.
We can do 1 year now, then a contract is the next meeting.
Right, Well, I want to see the contract first, just,
But it won't be a contract for this year. Right?
no,
No, it'll just be approval. The contract's gonna be the long-term lock.
Yeah,
Approve the contract to be the 5 years after this year.
so basically what
well, it's
they're,
still, we still need some sort of written agreement if we're gonna
oh, of course,
pledge
yeah,
50 grand, and that's what I wanna see first.
okay,
So make sure it's separated.
Okay, this first year and then
And then the long-term.
And get us a copy of it, us three and Justin.
Yeah.
At 4.
if we give it to Rachel, then she can.
Yeah,
Get it
you get it to
together.
Rachel, she'll get it to us.
Alright.
And,
Would you guys have any further questions?
So we can.
Roberta.
And maybe you can.
No, let's put Marcia first.
Oh, sorry.
Well,
If ticket sales exceed the $50,000,
No.
is there say ticket sales are $75,000, 50,000 goes to the carnival, 20,000 then goes to the fair board, or is there a split?
So after the 50, there is a 15% after that split that comes back to the fair board.
So you guys get 15%?
Correct, after the 50,000,
Yeah,
after the 50. So I mean, looking at that, that is a way to become a little more.
yeah, you roll that over
The
year over
roll
year.
over.
Right.
And that was been our discussion as well as this is gonna go into a separate completely line item. It's not getting touched. It's strictly carnival and carnival only.
And Dave, look, your concern is them getting locked into a 5-year contract with a carnival
That
that
we
they
don't
just don't like.
Yeah, it's, you know,
Okay.
in the
I just
meeting
wanted
we
to
talked
clarify
about,
that.
yeah, I wasn't
Make
being,
sure.
And
I wasn't being a
I like it.
smart aleck about it. I
No,
was
that
like,
was,
you know, I
that's,
just want to protect the,
I understand that because I'm kind of feeling the same way about a particular billing service we have.
And if I
Five-year
can,
you know, an
contracts
IT
with-
company, there's so many things that, you know.
if I can add to that, you know, too, doing the research of looking through. Not only are there multiple carnivals out there, but now we're talking about a huge different price difference from 50,000 guarantee to 80 to 100,000
Yeah.
for different carnivals.
yeah.
So not only, you know, budget wise, this is a good approach for us.
I think it is. I mean, you can start selling wristbands tomorrow.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
No, they ain't got a guarantee.
Advanced wristband sale.
They
Yeah, I
have
was
a
just gonna
guarantee
say,
up
did
and
you
they
do
start selling
advanced?
wristbands.
I thought they were already committed to the first year. I thought you said in your meeting. They already
Right.
said they
They're-
were.
Yeah.
Yep, and they're asking for help for this year. You was at the meeting, you heard the budget. How much they got?
Well, I didn't hear I didn't see their whole.
I thought that's what you just said.
No, but I
That
heard.
they
the
had
meeting,
plenty of
they
money,
said
you
they were
heard
gonna
them
do it
say.
The first year.
So whatever, what do you guys want to do, table it or?
Well, we're
Let's
gonna
move
table it
Let's
till
table it.
we see more
and
stuff
see
on
what
the
they're,
next meeting.
what they're, yeah. what
I'll
they're
get it to
doing.
Rachel like you
Okay.
said.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Get that.
we'll do.
Well, we appreciate you guys' time.
Thank
No
you.
problem.
Yeah, it's not. It's no different than wanting to see anything else.
Sir?
Firm in front of us.
Thank
My name is Gene. I'm the CEO and the founder of Surf, and here with me is somewhere Scott. I'm back there. There he is. So as you know, we've been investing some money here in Stark County. We're essentially done building fiber in Knox. That was about 1.8 million. We are getting ready to start Coons Lake. We're working in North Judson now. Hamlet and most people don't know, but we won a project through a program called the Indiana Connectivity Program, where we invested about 200,000 and the state gave us $5,000 per address for about 25 addresses. And that allowed us to build a little fiber network from northeast of Knox out towards Bass Lake and southwest of Knox out into the country. That gave us sort of a foundation for the network that we're building. So Indiana has this grant program called the Next Level Connection Grant. It's $80 million. And in the state's incredibly infinite wisdom, they told us what addresses we could bid on January 10th. And the bids are due this Friday.
Yep.
So we've been scrambling with our engineering firm, come up with a solution because our goal is to get every address in Stark County connected. So what we found is we did some analysis on all 92 counties in the state and the eligible addresses that the state identified are available in every county. Stark County ranks 7th in the state in terms of the highest ranking. That's really good, except that there's only $80 million. And if the top 4 counties max out their applicants, it uses all the money. So I think all that being said, I think we have a really, really good chance here in Stark County. So I wanted to tell you what we put together. Our goal is to cover 100% of the households in Stark County. So you can see in the various maps that various documents that the solution we're proposing is 4,577 households in Stark County with fiber. And by the way, there's 9,300, so that's about half with fiber, and then the rest we'll be able to cover with fixed wireless, thanks to a recommendation that we got to include fixed wireless. And so that project's going to cost $11.7 million. Based on our internal covenants with our bank in terms of how much we can contribute per household, that limits our contribution to $7.5 million. And because of how the state grant works, that limits their contribution to $3.5 million. So essentially, we're coming up about $500,000 short. With $500,000 of subsidy from the county or whatever funding program, we can score within 5 to 7 points of a perfect score. And we feel like that's enough to really put Stark County in the driver's seat. Without that 500K, we come in at like 220 something out of 250. And as I just mentioned, that's probably not going to do it. Nobody knows, but you know, we're just trying to put our best foot forward. So you know, what we're looking for is some kind of conditional agreement that says, and you could do this with other providers too, it just doesn't have to be served, but you could say the county is going to set aside $500,000 to support any bidder that wins the Next Level Connection Grant in Stark County. And then if it happens to be us, great, then your council can approve it. And if the council doesn't approve it, we can just tell the state we don't want their $3.5 million and we can just cancel the project. So there's not really any pressure on the county to, like, you're not signing 500,000 tonight. You're basically saying if you win it, you'll give you 500,000. Now, what I would say is if you can approve it tonight, we'll go ahead and build the fixed wireless network. So the fixed wireless network costs $360,000. And it costs about $200,000 to build the fiber network from where our fiber is in North Judson over to San Pierre. And then we're going to have 2 towers over in San Pierre. That's the hardest area to get is Railroad Township. So we need that 500K basically pays for the fixed wireless and the fiber to get to San Pierre. We're going to build San Pierre with our own money. But that essentially covers 100% of Railroad Township with wireless and the rest of the county, and still gets 4,577 addresses with fiber if we get the grant.
And how many people in San Pierre want?
How many people want it?
Yeah.
I don't know. We're in overall in the county, we're getting about 40% of the people take it.
All right. I
Which
think
is really
that's kind
good.
of where we talked a little bit about having a public meeting in St. Pierre there to see what they would want, if they want it. So I think it's one of them things we need to do that sooner than later, so.
Now, I mean, we had that conversation going and, you know, Kay Chapin's also raised that, but it was more the thing of before we asked the county for multi-million dollars, we'd rather prioritize because they want a fire station, they want help with some other bigger stuff.
Right.
But when I came back and said, by my calculation, if we did, you know, an alternative for some of the customers, which Gene agreed to, we're talking about a few $100,000, not 4.6 million. Like there was a big difference in that. So, you know, the fact of, sir pointing out that they made a $15 million investment and $500,000 is is a lot more palatable than 4.6. I mean,
Yeah.
I was having some palpitations, you know, on that part of it, you know, just because. I mean, realistically, just to be honest to the public, we can't give every person fiber in the whole county. It's cost prohibitive. And those, a lot of those areas will never be developed. It'll always be big piece of farmland, you know,
Well, that's, I mean, and we discussed this briefly between the two of us, Dave. I mean, that's the whole purpose of Next Level Connections and the follow-on BEAD program. And I don't know, have you guys done any preparations to apply for those funds as well?
Yeah, we're in very good shape.
Okay, so are those plans contingent on getting the next level?
Well, so here's the deal about BEAD. The BEAD funding requires 25% match. And the BEAD fund, because it's over 5 million, requires Davis Bacon wages. And that basically doubles the cost of the construction. So, you know, you're matching 25%, but you're doubling the cost, so you're really behind. So, the average cost per household in Stark County is around $8,000 or $9,000 per house. Everywhere else we build fiber, we do it for $1,300. So, that just tells you like how difficult it is to reach your residents. So, but when you go to BEAD, that's going to be at a minimum 16,000.
Yeah.
So we're in good shape. We've secured the funding to go after the funding in the state of Indiana, but this is an opportunity to do it right now and not wait at half the price.
Mark, if I could just add to this, because I know this is going live on YouTube and there's probably a lot of people listening. The other thing is even though there's alternative methods for getting internet to those folks that don't have it, we're still talking about a gigabyte down and 300 megs up. So I mean, they could still watch 3 movies at one time. Like it's not going to be like what people are getting now.
Is that the fixed
Yeah.
speeds versus fiber? I was just gonna ask that question.
Yeah.
The speed for the fixed.
Yeah,
versus
fiber we're gonna launch 2 gig fiber, so 2 gig by 2 gig.
Okay.
So if you live in the cities, that's what you'll get.
Yeah,
And then-
unfortunately,
yeah.
I'm one of those people that needs it,
And
so.
then in the rural areas, it'll be 100 by 20, and then as soon as the technology is available, it goes to 1,000 by 300.
Okay.
The
And I-
FCC hasn't approved the frequencies for that yet, but
Right, yeah, I was gonna say, you can't get those speeds on 5 gigahertz.
yeah, no, it's gonna be, so another thing is, and this is really in your benefit. 3 years ago, we bought $4.8 million worth of CBRS spectrum, and we intentionally invested in this county knowing at some point we get to this moment when the technology would deliver something that's useful. So we actually have that technology, and the good thing about that is that that technology is recognized, the licensed spectrum is recognized by the FCC as a viable broadband product.
And Gene, I'm not sure if you mentioned also that you're not asking for the commitment for the first year, like this would be over several, you know, a few years that.
Yeah, it's like a 3-year, the NLC grant is 24 months. And if it goes in like the last round, it'll take them a year to get their act together.
Yeah, well, they're just, I mean, Friday's the deadline for the applications, but then they start the challenge phase,
Yeah.
which lasts a while.
Yeah, I go into April.
Yeah. And then. Yeah, it'll be most of this year before we hear anything concrete.
But our promise to that area about solar funds, I mean, this is a perfect, you know, thing to spend solar money on.
The fun part about this though is they're one of 5 companies asking for a letter of support. And do we pick a winner or do we write letters for everybody? And do we include a monetary commitment for local match with all of those?
I say you make that the ceiling, the 500. I think some were asking for a lot more, weren't they?
Oh, yeah, there was one that was asking for 3 million.
That's where we started until we came up with the fixed wireless idea, which was really a way to get everybody in the county connected. The original was 4.6 or something, right?
It was 4.6, and that's.
That was fiber to every address in the county.
Call a doctor for day.
Yeah.
Actually, that was that was fiber to every address just in Railroad Township.
Right, that wasn't including the people in that.
Yeah, this is everybody.
I mean, Surf's done work in Knox and Judson. I mean.
Yeah, I mean, if I were to rank them and if I were the one making the approval on the grant funds, you know, they'd probably be at the top of my list. But I don't want to take an action that inhibits anybody's chances of getting this money.
But we don't want to guarantee 500,000 if we only need 10 people. We need to see how many people in San Pierre want it.
Well, it's all a railroad township, which,
Well,
I
it's,
mean, just that alone, I think,
Mhm.
at least the township supervisor told us that they're desperate.
I know
and
quite a
this
few
is-
of them are, but
and
Maybe
this
not,
is-
yeah.
yeah.
And this will be, supported by your current subscription rates that are already seen in Knox.
Yeah, we're at around 40% in Knox and it's creeping up. So I think we expect it to be like 52%, something like that, which is pretty good.
I mean, as far as the subscription cost, for the service to the end user.
That's right. Yeah, it's $35 up to $85.
What does Surf offer the commissioners though as well, like for? I use this story in this meeting that we had too. I got Dish Network 24, I don't know, 27 years ago. I actually had to finance the equipment. And they were like, you know, hey, like you're paying $3,500 for all this, but the upside is it's gonna be $40 a month forever. It'll probably go down. I've got basic today and I'm paying $165.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up.
So, you know, that's the other thing too, is I think, you know, that, right? I mean, that's one thing that we're all concerned about in county government is what's it gonna cost in 5 years?
Yeah, so we realize that we're a change and people are taking a risk when they go with us, so we have price lock for life guarantee for a customer, so whatever you sign up for. You're on that rate for the rest of your life, and you know, we're hoping someday you want to go to more bandwidth, you need a more expensive package, but. If the $35 package is good for you forever, that's good enough, we're not ever gonna raise it, we guarantee it.
Everybody.
Everybody that signs up, once you sign up, once you register as a customer. Now, we could raise the rate in the market for somebody new, but we're not ever gonna jack your rate up. So like an ideal outcome for us, and I know it's probably not what you want, but is if we could get the 500K regardless of the NLC grant, then we could build a wireless now. Because as you said, it's gonna be 6-8 months before we have any idea, and it'll be another year before we get a contract.
Right.
And it's just gonna take forever. The state is just slow. We won NLC round 3 in the spring of 2021, and we didn't start building it until 2023, and we finished it in 9 months. So it took longer to get the contract than it did to build 250 miles of fiber.
Can I ask a question?
Go
You
ahead.
keep talking about Railroad Township, and I just want to make sure that I'm understanding correctly. At that 500,000, that's giving everybody in the county access to one form of internet through SurfNet.
There might
or
be
the
like
other.
a handful that have like, are surrounded in trees and like are 10 miles from anything and, you know, down. Maybe there's 25 in the county that couldn't get any, but the design says it'll cover everybody.
I'm just asking because we keep talking about Railroad Township, but like, I'm not in Railroad
No,
Township.
there's 2
so-
towers in Railroad Township and 5 others in the rest of the county.
Right, I'm over. So, you know, so I'm wondering that 500,000 really is giving everybody some form of
That's right.
internet through SurfNet
That's right, yep.
versus, yes, Railroad Township, we're focused on
But the
fiber.
only area we're not planning on covering is southeast of Bass Lake, where Marshall County Fiber is putting in fiber.
So, east. Oh, so that's, okay.
But Marshall County is.
Well,
Yeah,
I am-
that's
I'm
the
southeast.
area Mercury Broadband is.
I'm 23 in Total.
Yeah.
So,
We'll look at
So-
the map when we're down at.
yeah.
It's just a small part.
I
of
just
the
want to make
county.
sure we work, because I kept hearing Railroad Township, but then I
Yeah, no,
heard you
this is the whole
say it's
county.
everybody
Yeah, there's.
for that
there's
500,000.
Hamlet.
I mean, we're really wanting to, you know, make sure Railroad Township's included because it's, you know,
Underserved,
Yeah.
right, which I get.
That's where our largest concentration of.
You know, you look at
unserved
maps.
And underserved.
There was one I seen that had like barely anything over there, you know,
Yeah.
so.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like we use wireless, I mean, like we're using AT&T on a little modem to get our internet, so.
And
When we can.
Yeah.
may I'm not officially on the agenda, but I'm here to support SURF. On behalf of economic development, first of all, thank you for entertaining this request tonight. Because this is our top priority, is to get the fastest, most reliable, most affordable internet to all of our citizens in the county as quickly as possible. And this conversation, just to give everyone in the room on the internet and all of you a little background, this started because SURF came to the commissioners and council in December just to say, hey, we're planning to build a fiber network in the community of San Pierre. So they asked us at Economic Development, could you put us together with the San Pierre folks. Well, San Pierre, of course, does not have its own town government. It's part of the county. So we had gotten Charlie and Cassie and Kay Chaffins as the township trustee, you know, in a conversation about bringing internet to San Pierre. And a legitimate question for people who live in and represent that area was, well, what about the rest of the township? Because that's tough. Kay Chaffins, the township trustee, lives in the heart of English Lake. And she told me if she wants to stream anything on her TV at home, she has to turn off the Wi-Fi on her phone or she buffers. This is 2024. So, you know, and she's a very strong, passionate advocate for the people she represents as township trustee. So that's where we got into further discussions, and Charlie has been a part of that. And then when it got into a conversation of money, figured we'd better invite Dave to the table since he's the president of the county council to talk about how to do this. And that's where this plan that SURF is presenting to you tonight and the reason they keep saying Railroad Township is because it came out of those discussions. But it's not just Railroad Township, it's an opportunity through the fixed wireless and the fiber to really push service out into the county as quickly as possible. As you mentioned, Mark, there are a lot of providers applying for these grants. I compare it to the gold rush in California. Everyone's trying to stake their claim on a piece of the prize. Competition is great. You know, we encourage competition. I don't ever want anyone to feel like they only have one choice of a service provider and they're not happy with them, but they're stuck. But, you know, if we can leverage a little bit of county money to bring this service to everyone or nearly everyone in the county as quickly as possible, I think we all win if we do that. And Dave had mentioned, you know, possibly, especially if this is over a 3-year time, possibly using some of the revenue from solar to do that. So it wouldn't be affecting anything else. We wouldn't be asking you, okay, you know, toggle back here so you can spend this money here. And, you know, I know there are very strong, passionate feelings on both sides of the solar debate, but I don't think you're going to get any one of those people to argue that they don't want access to better internet. So that's what brings us all here tonight, just to give that some context for everyone as to what the request is. And, you know, as you all know, we at Economic Development work with all partners, all utilities, everyone to try to make the county better, stronger, position us well. And SURF has been very open to coming into Stark County and making a sizable investment and offering a reliable service. I've not heard anyone, and I mean, you're never going to 100% please everyone, you're not birthday cake, but I've not heard anyone complain about SURF not being a good, strong, solid provider. And when we got them in our office, I had to call them because I had a question about something. I was talking to someone in LaPorte. That was nice because they knew where Knox was. They've probably been to Knox. So for what that's worth, that's
and I have full faith in their ability to meet their customers' needs. I mean, I installed radios for one of the companies they bought in LaPorte one summer back in 2011. I don't know if Patrick's still with you guys.
He's our CTO.
Yeah, he was a good supervisor back then. So yeah, I absolutely have it. Full faith in their ability to execute on this. But I don't like, and this is, you know, me waxing philosophical, I don't want to pick a winner. I want, you know, that's for the Okra to do with NLC. And we are on a compressed timeline. I don't know how the logistics of this will work to get a letter of support done by and distributed by Wednesday because they all need it. This application is due Friday by the end close of business.
So if we do this tonight, you got anything in writing?
Well, that's
this 500 is gonna do something.
Well, that's, I think, how we'll have to and what I'd like to do is, you know, create a letter of support, not only for SURF. Because we get Surface One and they're here tonight, but I mean, we've also, I've had. Several companies reach out, I have one-on-ones with a couple of them and they. I think all of them interacted with the economic development. I'd like to do. A letter of support for all 5. With the pledge at, the 500,000, the $500,000. The thought process behind that is, it's from their proposal, that's what they need to get the score they want. The other folks have, I think we're asking for larger numbers, so it probably won't get them to the same score. So it's my hope that if we give everyone the same thing with their advantages they have in their application, they will be the ones that ultimately receive the ground floor
How
funding.
long do you got, how much time do you got?
Those do?
Till you're needing all this?
They Friday, or
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I'd like to get it to them Wednesday.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, they need the letter by Friday. They don't need the money quite that.
No, money, it's
Yeah,
just
I
a
was gonna
letter.
vote on that.
Well, that's what I'm getting there. I just want to make sure we can handle those kind of logistics as far as writing letters.
You need to all get it done.
Huh?
If you need it, all get it done.
Okay.
So how we gonna be able to vote on it? How we gonna vote on it? Intentions or whatever.
Let me start the motion. So. I make the motion to approve the drafting and submitting of letters of. What are we calling these? Approval or recommendation?
Letters of support.
Letters of support for SURF broadband, Mercury broadband, Rochester Telecom, Mainstream Fiber, and NextLink Internet, including a pledge of no more than 500,000 local match.
And I think you need to put in there, they gotta have it by Wednesday.
Yeah, to be distributed by close of business Wednesday.
So we can get it back to him by Friday, before Friday.
Right, yeah.
I'll make this, I'll do the second. On
All in
that.
favor?
Aye.
Hey, Mark, question. In
Yes.
that letter, I'm just curious because I missed it and you guys probably know, but we don't see everything. Is there a timeline? So like, I know we have 5 companies looking. So in your letter of support, could you say something to the extent of, you know, that whoever gets it in the end has to build out that network?
Well,
to
that's-
make it available to the public.
That's all part of.
Is that part of the?
NLP form.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
That's what I wasn't sure of.
Yeah, and where is,
2 years. the state
2
of-
years?
2
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because what.
I mean, cause
what
you could
they
have
get-
somebody else come in and say, oh, yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
and
do it,
what-
but we
what
can't
they-
do it for
what they
5.
get- If their application is
It has to be
approved,
2 years.
it is, they are then obligated to that because they're getting the money.
I'll just keep throwing things.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you very much. So how do we look at your?
You all right?
Yeah. What we're looking at. Might-
If we didn't include the language. Put $500,000 into something that looks very similar. Right, yes, I'm not gonna try to obligate us to 2.5 million if they all get the.
I was gonna say, that's why you got Justin to make sure your words were right.
Yes.
We still got a meeting going. Need a motion to
Sorry.
accept the claim, $669,371.98.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Everybody in favor?
Aye.
Still. Sorry for interrupting with all my questions.
That's fine.
I'm tired of paying. I have one at each end of my house. Literally. I have to have 2, because otherwise we can't.
Well, I've been trying to push it.
Mark, when I'm sits outside on my back porch because it's the only way to have service. I break my house. It doesn't work. So when it rains, you pull it under the porch. Mark, I'm not kidding you, it's great.
Well,
And I work from home.
And what I've been pushing with this, and it's not the first time I've said this, but you know, fiber to the home at this point is. In my mind, about equivalent as to building out rural electrification 90 years ago. And the process to do that is, should be similar.
You know, it used to be on a snow day, there was no learning. Now they do a snow day, and it's e-learning.
Yeah, right, and that's why, that's pretty much the only reason I think it's appropriate to be doing these grants. Right, you know, to help a private entity build out like this. But yeah, it's fiber to the home is what needs to be pushed.
Yes.
I'm not as enthusiastic about terrestrial wireless, but I mean, I know the limitations that I used to work with it a lot. In a past life. I don't know, I've forgotten more about it than I think I knew, but. That's, you know, I don't want to pick a winner. I think that's, you know, sending out letters to support, and then, I mean, I'm even more excited. Yeah, the way it's structured, the costs are higher, but with the BEAD program following.
Those other companies, once the county business, they'll think
come
of a
up
way to
with
make the
the
500K work.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that 500K is not spent all.
Yeah,
at
and
once
that's
either,
the
right?
lowest, dollar amount
increments.
that I heard from anybody. I haven't heard a
Well,
dollar
I mean,
amount
that's a
from
great
two of them,
number.
but
It's
a
really good
pittance
for the
in
county.
comparison to
I
the
mean,
benefit that it'll bring.
It'll
for the
help
next
with
10 years.
businesses, and it's gonna help
Well,
with a lot of things for the
it's,
county.
I mean. Yeah, but then this is what's the fun part is, you know, in this context, $500,000 doesn't sound like a terrible expenditure, but. Then we, you know, earlier in the meeting, we had how much consternation over potentially $2.5 million over 5 years.
Yeah. Need a motion to accept the payroll claims of 335, 231.53.
So moved.
Second. On favor?
Aye.
Now, Carl Pennon.
Need a motion to accept the minutes from January 16th.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
On favor?
Aye.
That's that employee.
The
employee assistance program.
Yeah, that's to swap out providers from.
Yeah.
To.
So this would cover the rest of the.
The
That's what I was.
The
kinda-
non-trauma,
That's what I was
yeah,
trying to lead into before, but
yeah,
I didn't know we were gonna keep them separate or whatever.
yeah.
Do I have a motion for that?
I'll make a motion to approve the MOU for our EAP program.
Second.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
This only need one signature.
Yeah, but the good news is that has a 30-day out if you guys want to terminate it for any reason, so you're not really stuck with it for a year term or anything. In case you want to go in a different direction.
Go anytime for
Just 30-day notice.
I don't have anything else.
We don't need any to take any action to decide on a vote for anything for the opioid stuff that you sent out.
I don't believe so. I think it was just information.
Okay.
When I forwarded to them.
Okay, well, there was something in there that mentioned voting on something in their bankruptcy
Oh,
proposal?
no, not that I said, it was you. It's part of a structured payout,
Okay.
but you don't need to take any action on it.
Okay. The only other thing I wanted to bring up was the, when we have some of the elected department heads go off for training and then they take their whole office with them, and then we leave other offices in the lurch. Do you guys have any ideas on how to restrict that?
I think we need to work on something.
Yeah.
And
I mean, we're gonna be in that situation this week.
Yes. Yeah.
With one of
Well,
the
that's why I asked
offices.
Rachel to send out a memo, how we do it now, but we can't change our mind, before we do it. As long as there's a part-time person in that office, they're covered, but to me, I don't agree with that.
No, yeah, exactly.
You gotta
I think,
know a little bit what's going on.
yeah, especially with the elected department heads, they should all have deputies or chief
Yes.
deputies, and I think going forward, it's more intelligent for one or the other, not both, to attend a training.
Yes. Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, 'cause I mean, there's
Yeah.
Somehow.
there's multiple trainings, here. and there,
Right,
so
well, and
makes sense that one would stay and one would go.
so again, reference, previous jobs I've had, that was fairly typical. One person from a work center would get sent to a particular training, and then the
other one go next time.
well, maybe perhaps that, but immediately following the conclusion of the training, you come back and distribute the information you received in the training, so to spread the knowledge out. I mean, that's where I learned,
Just in all fairness.
the mantra of there's three things that have to happen in order to be able to say how to do something. You have to see it done, you have to do it, and then you have to teach it to someone.
Yeah.
Then you can say how to do something. I think, applying that mindset to how we send people off for training and whatnot would be beneficial for all of our offices.
That's what I say, it's in like it is, but I think we reword it.
Yeah.
Come up with.
Yeah, we need to do something with it. Seems like it's happened too much.
Yeah, for the last year, it's pretty bad. I don't know if you want to put that in there, Sarah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, any ideas on the something, since you're kind of the first line of receive, to receive. That too, yeah.
And how we should.
But yeah, to make it easier on officers that have to interact regularly.
One office isn't there and another one is, or trying to do their work.
Right,
And then.
well, yeah, it's come up.
We do see that where kind of the
Yeah,
flow
yeah,
stuff.
because there's
Because the one office is gone now, that makes it can't work.
right, and there are three offices that kind of have to work in coordination.
A note down for Rachel.
To start, I guess, begin that discussion, sort of.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to talk for the next meeting.
Yeah.
And therefore.
So because this situation is gonna come up again.
Yeah.
If not over the summer, definitely in September. That's all I've got.
Just.
We gave him stuff. He couldn't have anything to bring back to us.
Sarah, you got any? Dan? Darren, you got anything? Nope. Jim? I'm good. You two ladies? Roberta?
No, I just think I'm all for the internet, so just gonna say, I agree 100%, spend the money.
This doesn't happen often, trust me.
Well, I do have a question.
Go ahead.
I'm not real good with acronyms. MOUEAP.
Memorandum of Understanding for the Employee Assistance Program.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what we
That's
do.
what Roberta was, I said, well, I
that's what we
don't, that's
do.
what you guys were just talking about.
Yeah.
So I took a high break. What is this?
Yeah, it's a we're just changing vendor. It's a program we've had in place for a while. We're just changing vendors from
That's good.
Bowen to Porter Stark.
That it?
I do have a public comment about the Fair Board. I've been attending the Fair Board meetings and you've seen me there, Don, and I have some concerns about the carnival. I know that, residents of the county, they're want a carnival. I am a little fearful about selling $50,000 worth of tickets. It seems like it would be easy, but I just have my doubts whether that can happen. I'm not trying to be a pessimist, but it's something, I don't care about the carnival one way or the other, but in listening to the residents of the county and how many seem to want this carnival. I hope that as many that said they want it will also be willing to support it. If you have 4 kids and you're paying $25 a wristband, $100 would seem to me to be a lot for some.
For a day.
I wonder,
Do they also do
I wonder how
tickets?
much it was for that whole laser tag thing, or that was free, wasn't it? Or-
No, wait.
I can find out.
It's $25. See,
Yeah, that's okay. If they paid that much for that.
Right,
we didn't.
but did people actually spend the money? My other
Also,
question,
go ahead.
no, my other question was, I know we all have the wristbands, but will they also just, like, what if I've got a little kid that's not gonna use the wristband enough, can I still just buy 5 tickets for a ride?
I think that they do.
I think,
They did
yeah,
talk about that, yeah.
wristbands, yeah, just,
It's
I
just,
think-
you have either.
I think that's what we wanna know
Yeah,
that
that's-
information,
yeah.
Right.
know.
Well, and I
Hopefully
wanted-
that's what they bring back to us.
Yeah, well, and that's why I wanted to understand what they're gonna make off of it, because if in the end, the fair isn't gonna make anything to help support the fair in the future, it's me, it's not worth it.
right.
Well, it's,
And that's what he said they're
it's
going
down-
to.
yeah,
He-
and again, why I wanna see how the details are, and how I can run it through the lawyer for a sanity check. Which is a strange thing to say. The way I'm looking at it is, what it sounds to me is the 50,000 is the fixed cost.
Yeah, right.
And above that,
We get
is
15%.
right, because it's not, that way they've got their fixed cost and hit their revenue targets, and beyond that, that's when, the profit sharing can kick in.
Right.
The other thing they brought up in the Fair Board meeting in regard to the carnival, the extra things that they're going to have extra security. Extra electrical work done, and then also,
That the fair board's gonna have to supply it.
right.
That's,
Why is there extra electric if we used to have a carnival?
I'm
Has nothing
sure.
Probably,
changed? We just
I would say the
maintain it?
campers, the
Yeah.
campers are so much fancier
Mhm.
before you had one
That,
outlet.
yeah, how long ago was it that we had a carnival?
It's been
Before COVID.
Right.
So, yeah, things have changed.
That's the extra people, just other expenses that the Fair Board's going to have to incur.
But the fair board was told by the county to get a carnival and everything be fixed. So,
I know,
Right. I'm like you, I could care less about it.
Right.
Yeah, I don't have
Accordingly,
kids,
the
I don't
people-
care.
No, I'd rather
Unless my
find
dog's
different
getting
ways
on
to
the Ferris
showcase
Right.
county businesses and whatnot, rather than.
Do at least like that they're letting us still keep food vendors. I think that's
Right.
fantastic.
Yeah, that's-
You want to still be able to support our local.
Yeah.
There's a lot of local ones that
There are, yeah.
And I
go
think
there.
the Fair Board is,
They're trying.
they're really trying,
They're
to find different forms.
If
of
we can get everybody to see that.
Yeah, well, you and I were the only ones that, well, not.
Well,
the last
possible,
meeting,
not-
before.
Yeah, I've been,
Gone, but I have no kids, so I had no interest in freaking carnival or not, so.
Kay, you got anything?
No, I'm good. thank you.
Todd,
I'm a third on the internet, just so, yeah, that's a good deal.
right?
Absolutely.
Tony,
No, sir.
motion adjourned.
So moved.
Second.
Aye.